Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Season 5 is now only a few days away at this point, and over the past few days, we've actually learned a lot about what's coming up in Season 5, and it looks like there's going to be quite a bit of content between Cold War and Warzone, and today we're essentially going over all the details on all the content that we know of so far and pretty much everything you need to know about Season 5. So as we go through it all, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you are new to the channel, we are on the road to 800,000 subs. So if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips, it is all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. So the first thing we want to look at for this is the initial blog post that we got back with the whole roadmap reveal earlier on last week. This is essentially like all the content basics. But as far as this one goes, obviously we get the whole roadmap. We've got Kitsune as our main operator here. We've covered everything already face value that's on the roadmap here between multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, and then all the cross-title content as well. But this blog basically goes into even more detail about everything that we have here, right? So of course, we've got the story so far. This is essentially just following Perseus and his like ultimate evil plan here, Plan Z, we would call it. So that's that. We have all the basic like trailers and stuff that we've already seen so far. First up though, here we have the Black Ops Cold War content. Double Agent is going to be a brand new mode here, which is basically like Among Us, but in Call of Duty. There's one person who is a double agent or an imposter on your team, and the goal of the mode is to figure out who is that double agent. Double agents need to either eliminate everyone or successfully set off explosive charges around the map. The investigator can use clues to target suspected double agents as wanted criminals, and operatives must work together to identify and eliminate the double agents before it's too late. So definitely a very, very interesting mode here. Not really something we've ever seen in Call of Duty before. We also have the return of Demolition. This is an old school mode back from other Call of Duty games. The spawn traps in this mode, especially in some Treyarch games, have always been pretty nutty. Like Firing Range, Demolition has always been one of those maps where you could just keep people in one spawn the entire match and drop like 200 kills. Hopefully it's not going to be like that this time around, but Demolition is returning. Then we also have 5 multiplayer maps, which is a lot more than we're used to seeing, especially at initial release of a season. Now, of course, some of them are coming in season, but usually we don't get all these previews right away. But we have Echelon. It's going to be a 6v6 map at launch. We've talked about this one previously. We know it's like the whole weather station or radio station place in Teufelsberg, Germany. We also have Slums, and of course, we all know about Slums from BO2, one of the iconic maps that we've had from that. That's coming at launch as well. We've got Showroom, which is going to be a 2v2 and 3v3 map for face-off and gunfight. That's also coming at launch. Seems to take place in like a department store or something like that, maybe like a mini mall of some sort. We've got Drive-In, which is another 6v6 map coming in season at a later date. And Drive-In is actually a DLC map from Black Ops 1. Side note, Black Ops 1 had the best DLC maps. I'm going to die on that hill. And Drive-In was actually one of my favorites from that game. Really, really cool map. A lot of open space, but also a lot of really cool like flank routes through the sides and whatnot. And then we also have Zoo, which was another Black Ops 1 DLC map, and that's coming in season as well. Not the greatest map in the world, in my opinion, but it is a pretty cool aesthetic, and I'm excited to see it return here in Cold War. At this point, though, it's basically like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 Remastered is just what Cold War is at this point, because every single season we just get a bunch of old maps. As far as the score streaks go, we're getting the Flamethrower. Finally, we've had this thing teased officially from Treyarch for like 4 seasons now, so that is officially coming as a new streak. We get a lot of zombies content here. Obviously, we don't really cover this too much on the channel, but we'll briefly go through it. We're getting a new perk, a new field upgrade, and weapon support as well at launch. We're getting the depth perception perk, which is actually going to be the 9th perk in the game. It allows you to basically see through obscured objects, which is like a wall hack in a sense, essentially. We also have the Tesla Storm. Upon activation, lightning will shoot out between you and your allies, which is honestly pretty cool. You're essentially Thor. And also the Flamethrower is being added into zombies as well. Something else really cool is the grapple gun. I wish we had something like this in Warzone. That is going to be so cool. Like, I love the grapple back in Blackout. That was a super efficient tool. Zombies is getting that alongside the new region, which is going to be Collateral, a new objective, and the tank vehicle as well. Then we get into the Warzone content. Obviously, this is our main focus here on the channel, and there's actually a lot of interesting stuff. Led by Raven Software, Warzone saw its fair share of balance changes over the past few months to the 100 plus base weapons on offer, all designed to provide the best battle royale experience possible. An anti-cheat could help with that. Season 5 starts off with 2 new perks to shake up the meta. And that's just the tip of the iceberg for what lies beyond the surface of this update. So We've got our new perks. We sort of covered these back last week when the roadmap was revealed, but we're going to have Combat Scout and then also Tempered, and obviously High Alert's also going to end up getting its buff and its upgrade to make it so that it actually counters Dead Silence footsteps, and if you have High Alert on, you'll be able to hear those even if an enemy does have Dead Silence. So let's talk about these perks. For the first time ever, Warzone receives 2 exclusive perks. They're not going to be in Modern Warfare multiplayer, each with their own benefits. The first is Combat Scout. With this perk, operators receive a burst of in-field intel, as damaging an enemy briefly highlights the foe in bright orange and automatically pings them. Whether it's confirming a callout or finding someone cooped up in a building behind penetrable cover, this perk only grows stronger if the operator behind it can communicate effectively to their squad mates. So essentially, this is a wall hack, but it's legal. If you see somebody, you can then ping them behind a wall, and you also get them highlighted in like a bright orange mark. I feel like the report count on in-game players who aren't cheating is just going to skyrocket because of this new perk, but it's definitely a very interesting one, and it honestly could be a crutch if you're someone who likes to go for high kills. One thing that I do want to note here is they don't say which perk slot this is going to be in, whether it's going to be perk 1, 2, or 3, so that'll definitely be interesting to note once the update goes live. Tempered is our other perk here, and they do say this is going to be a perk 2 perk, so we'll talk more on that towards the end of this here, but Tempered looks to fundamentally change armor values within Warzone. When an operator is under the effects of Tempered, their armor plates are heavier and more reinforced. Only 2 of them are needed for an operator to be considered fully armored compared to the standard 3. In other words, Tempered allows each armor plate to absorb 75 points of damage instead of the standard 50, but an operator is only going to be able to use 2 of those instead of 3 at a time. And like I said, it comes in perk 2, so you are going to have to weigh that against Ghost or Restock and see if you want to use this instead. But basically, it's going to make it so that you only have to have 2 armor plates equipped to get that fully armored health. So if you want 150 points of armor, you only need 2 armor plates, and obviously it's going to make it easier to actually re-armor up all the way and put those 2 plates back on so you can get into fights faster. Really, I just see this as being a perk that's really useful for really aggressive players who like to just, you know, get into a fight, take some damage, dip out, armor up, and get back into that fight ASAP. That'll make that whole process a bit quicker. But really, though, I think Combat Scout's going to be the highlight of these 2. And we're also getting new points of interest, the mobile broadcast stations and Redacted. To help Stitch and Perseus bring out the New World Order, this network of clandestine entities has deployed mobile broadcast stations to boost the numbers signals all around Verdansk. As the name suggests, these mobile stations can be placed in a variety of locations in Verdansk, differing from match to match to keep one area from being a signal boost too often, basically. See what they're all about by going closer to them, but be sure to keep your head in tune not to broadcast each one emits. So I assume there's going to have some tier of loot constantly spawning at them, but they're not going to be constant spawns similar to like the buy station. Then it also says, NATO is aware of these recent Perseus efforts and has decided to Redacted. Operators should look for Redacted when it arrives on Redacted within Verdansk as a highly important Redacted. We get no information from that, but I'm wondering if we're going to be able to actually explore the mines now, because that's always been referred to as a redacted area, and that's been locked off until this point in time. We still haven't been able to access those over by the old mine areas, so that could be interesting, but other than that, I'm not really sure what all this redacted could mean. We're also getting the new Rush Gulag. Obviously, Rush is a new map in Cold War for Season 4. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the OG Showers Gulag was still the best one, even after we saw Nuketown and Standoff, and then obviously our most recent one here with Hijacked. Hopefully Rush is a cool one. It's not too overpowered or one-sided or anything like that, but I'm excited to get, you know, a fresh change up there. Then we have a new mode called Clash, which is, you know, sort of similar to Rumble, they say, featuring select areas around Verdansk. Clash pits quads against each other in an unlimited respawn deathmatch to 200 points. So essentially it's just TDM, but it's teams of 4, and it's on the Warzone map with Warzone features. Then we have a new event coming up in the middle of the season. The red doors grow unstable. Whatever broadcast Perseus set up is causing the red doors to become more volatile than ever. Operators are now reporting Redacted in their post-mission briefings. So essentially we're just going to have some kind of new event that ties into the storyline. We're also getting content for both games, obviously, between Warzone and Cold War cross-title content. We're getting Kitsune, who's like the main operator at launch. She'll be available in the Battle Pass. Then in season, we're going to get Striker. He's going to be available through a store bundle, and same deal with Hudson as well. Of course, we all know Hudson from previous Black Ops games. We've got 4 new weapons coming up. We've got the EM2 assault rifle. This is going to be available in the Battle Pass for free. They say it's a fully auto assault rifle. It's a well-rounded British rifle with good firing control. Built-in low zoom optic improves accuracy, slower fire rate with reliable range. So it's going to have a built-in optic that could actually be pretty beneficial depending on how good that optic actually is. We're also getting the Tec9 Smg, so it's actually going to be classified as an SMG. It's pretty interesting, but it's semi-auto, which is going to be a very different dynamic compared to what we usually see with other SMGs in the game. That's also going to be available in the Battle Pass. Then we've got the Kane melee weapon that's going to be available at launch as well. And then in season, we're going to be getting the Marshall pistol. And this is actually like a sawed-off shotgun. Basically, we had the Marshalls back in BO3, if you remember those. That'll be pretty similar to that. You know, a really close range based but strong pistol for CQB engagements. And then to round out this initial blog, we are getting some new prestige icons. Nothing too crazy, but they do look pretty cool. Now, we also have some additional info on the actual updates themselves. As always, when it comes to a new title update or a new seasonal update, we have two separate updates, one for Cold War and then one for Warzone / Modern Warfare. Even though Modern Warfare doesn't really have anything crazy coming with it, since it is tethered to Warzone, it gets the update too. And as far as the Cold War update goes, that is going live on August 10th at 9 p.m. Pacific time or 12 a.m. Eastern. And that's really just only going to include the patch notes. We'll be covering all that stuff and all the physical changes and back-end changes with that. But the content is not going live alongside that update. Instead, it is going to go live alongside the Warzone update, which is going live on August 11th at 9 p.m. Pacific time and 12 a.m. Eastern. And Season 5 will officially start at that point, and that's when all the content will actually be released, the Battle Pass, all the actual in-game content, the weapons, the maps, the modes, all sorts of stuff like that. So we'll be covering it all right here on the channel, so stay tuned for all of that. So yeah, currently that is everything we know about all the Season 5 content that's been revealed up until this point. Quick side note, the end of the vlog that we obviously just covered did mention that at the start of this week, we'd learn more about the update file size and everything. As of right now, Call of Duty has not said anything about that. They haven't put out a new blog or a new trailer or anything regarding the information there. As that becomes available, I'll probably mention it over on Twitter. If you want to stay up to date with me over there at WhosImmortal, be sure to drop me a follow over there. But that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel or if you haven't already subscribed, this is the place to be for everything going on in COD. So feel free to subscribe. That way you can always stay up to date. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.